Hey guys, what's up? This is the part 2 of the video on estimation. So if you haven't watched the previous video, you can check out in the description where we had done the estimation of your works up to your artwork and as well as sand filling. So today we're going to do the continue the estimation of this building up to G+1 levels, and we are going to do the portion of your PCC, that is how to calculate the PCC in this particular building as per the drawings, structural drawings and architectural drawings. And then we are also going to calculate the concrete quantity of all the concrete members. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So we are making the sheet level wise, that is up to substructure, that is up to the plinth level, the ground floor and the first floor. So that's what we are going to do, and after we complete this, we are then going to find out the number of bricks, cement, sand and aggregate which will be used, so that I can give it to my client for doing his works. Okay, so we'll just continue for further from the PCC. Okay, let's start. So this is the footing F1, and let's check the footing numbers. As you can see, the F1 to F6, all the footing numbers, it has been copied from here. As you can see, I have just linked the cells here. So from early on I have linked the cells, so there it's all automatically taken. And the PCC, this area of the PCC will be same as the area of sand filling, because above them it will be PCC. The thick height of the PCC is also fixed, that is 75 mm. If I can show you, this is the section. As you can see, 75 mm of PCC will be in all the footing, so it calculates automatically. You don't have to do anything once you just link the cells. And after that, the next PCC will be done in the plinth beam interior. So this is what we can discuss now. So as you can see, this one, if you just check this particular diagram of plinth beam layout, so these are the plinth beams. So along the particular outside beams, there will be a periphery wall which will be made. So below this, so above this periphery wall, we don't need any PCC. But for the interior beams, which are this one, so for these interior beams, we need to do PCC of the sand filling, which will be done inside it. So that's what we are going to do here, the PCC above the sand filling. So first of all, we are going to calculate the particular lengths of this. So let's see where it is linked. It's not linked, we have to insert it. So we'll just calculate this. So it's 115.1.575. We'll just keep on adding here. It will be equals to 1.575 cross, so 1 2 3, three numbers of similar beams. So 1.575 into 3 plus your, then it will be, okay, for this portion it might be a little bit more, so it is 1.88. so we'll just do that. So we'll just do 1.575 into, we'll just change this into 2, and it will be plus 1.88 into 1 2 3, 1.88 into 3, 1.88 into 3 plus this portion will be 4623 into 1 2 3, so it will be 4.623 into 3, 4.623 cross 3, that will be the total length here. So this is already calculated. The breadth and height we need to do. So breadth, as you can see, is 0.25 and 0.075 on both the sides, that is extra, which we do for the PCC, and it will be added. So in case you're not getting it why this 0.75 is added, let me just give you a brief reminder that the beam size which we are having here, as you can see, all the size of the plinth beam, the width is 250 and the depth are different, some 350 and some 500. So the width is 250, so 75 mm cover, 75 mm extra PCC is done on both sides, from left side on right side. So that's why we are adding 150 here. So that's why we are doing this. and the height of the PCC will be 75 mm, which is done here, and the quantity can be calculated by the multiplication of it, simple. And then the flooring, so usually the flooring is done in the interior portion. As you can see, if this is the plinth level, in the interior portion the flooring will be done in all the portion. This particular portion, the floorings will be done. So the flooring is usually 1.1 or 100 mm. So as you can see, this is taken equals to D24. D24 is the, as you can see, is the area inside the periphery wall built up. So exactly that particular area will be taken for the PCC, and the quantity is this one, so it is calculated in cubic meters. So we are adding, we will just do a sum command and sum of all these things and multiplied it by 1.05 to find out the total PCC which we are going to do here. So this is the PCC which we are going to do, and if you want to do deductions, you can do some deductions for your columns, because below this areas of the columns the PCC won't be done, but this will be a small quantity which you can ignore also. So in this will not take into consideration that. We'll just move forward. So the next thing after the PCC, it will be our RCC. So all the RCC members, this cubic meters volume will calculate. So as you can see, the foundation numbers they have taken automatically, but the this length, breadth and height of the foundation we have to insert here, which we can do very easily. So LBH of F1 to F6, let's insert here. We'll just use this table and we'll just insert. So F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6. So F1 is 10.29 into 3.129. 10.29 into 3.129. Depths, let's finish with the depths first because it's written separately. So depths are 350, 300, 0.35, 0.3. Next one is your 0.65. We'll just write 0.65. The next one is your 0.3, 0.35, 0.3, 0.35, and then the next one is your 0.55, 0.55, and then we'll enter the length and the breadths. So the length and the breadth here is 10 point, this is already done, F2, 2000 into 2 into 2.829. So it will be 2 into 2.829, and this one will be F3. F3 is 2.75 into 2.75, so it will be 2.75, 2.75. F4 will be 2 into 4.048, 2 into 4.048. F5 will be 9.89 into 2. It will be 9.89 into 2. This will be F5, and after that, okay, there is some error, I think. F1, F2, F3, F5 will be 9.89 into F6 will be, F6 will be 2.55 into 2.55. F6 will be 2.55 into 2.55. This one will be actually this one. Control X, Control V. You'll just type it better. 9.89 and 2. This is the F5, and F6 will be 2.55 into 2.55. 2.55, 2.55, and you can check, back check f5 9.8 into 2, f4 2 into 4.048. So we are good here. f3 2.75 whole square. So yeah, we are good here. So this is the foundation calculation for the concrete in cubic meters. We have successfully done it. Now for the columns. So now it's important to know that how many columns are there, what are the types of the columns. So it's up to C7. Let's see if there is anything beyond C7. So there are 7 types of column, that is C7. So we exactly have those, but now we also need to know which above which footing these columns are, because we can check from here that the height of the plinth level is 1.2 meters, height from the particular ground level is 1.2 meters. So we're calculating up to the ground level the concrete quantity. So when we are calculating the concrete quantity up to the ground level, the height of the foundation actually affects the particular concrete size. So as you can see here, it is affecting the concrete size. So as you see, the foundation has different depths, so that's why it's affecting that. So the height of the column of the concrete calculation will be different for different ones. So that's why we are going to write in terms of C1 above which footing, C2 above which footing, like this we are going to write. So it's very simple, but take some patience. So let's try. First we'll check for C1. So let's see above which footing C1 is there. In F5 there is no C1. There is no C1 here also. So okay, C1 is only above this footing called F1. So we'll just write C1 above F1. So number of C1s here, 1 2 3. So there are 3 number of C1s here. So just write 3 here, and the length, breadth and height. So the height will vary, so the length and breadth, let's enter it from the table, because that will be more convenient. So C1 is 0.35 into 0.25. C2 is 0.35 into 0.3, 0.35 into 0.3. C3 is 0.45 into 0.3. C3 is 0.45 into 0.3. So it's good here. C4 is your 0.66 into 4.5, 0.6 into 0.6 into 4.5. This is also good. C5 is 0.6 into 4.5. C5 is 0.6 into 0.45. 0.6 into 0.45. This is a C5. Now C6, for the C6 this is 0.3 into 0.45. C6 will 0.3 into 0.45, and C7 will be 0.3 into 0.45. This is the same size, 0.3 into 0.45. So this is the length and the breadth, so it's shorted here. So now C1 is a 3, and the height will be 1.2 minus the height of this foundation. So you can also put the dollar symbol here so that it doesn't change, because this is, if we add some certain rows or columns, so it will not change. So you can use the dollar symbol below, before and after the alphabet of the representation of the row and column. So like this you can use. So here we are set to go. For C2, let's check how many C2 we have. One, and there is one C2 above F1. And let's check whether there is any other C2. Yes, here yeah, we don't seem to have any C2 here. So there is only one C2 above F1. So that C2 above F1 is 1, and this will be 1.2 minus F1. So here also we'll put some dollar symbol before and after it so that we don't face any difficulty later on. Okay, C2 is fixed. Now C3. So let's see which footing C3 is there. Above F1 definitely C3 is there, so there are 4 number of C3s here. Above F2 also C3 is there, and above F4 also C3 is there. C3 is in 3 types of footings. So first of all, 4 C3 above F1. So C3 above F1, that is 4, and for the height we are just getting this. I think we'll get, let's copy this, we don't need to copy the dollar symbol anymore, and here instead of F53 we'll just get here F55. Here also instead of F53, this is F53. Okay, so sorry, this is this will be your F53 only because this is above F1 we are talking about. Okay, now C3 above, after 4 number of C3 above F1, then we have C3 above F2, that is 2 numbers, 2 number of C3 above F2. So let's do this F2, and let's do this 2, and let's do this, it will be the same exactly. Okay, C3 above F2. Let's insert another cell, and this will be, just copy paste it, and this C3 will be, as you can see, above F4. This is the last C3, one C3 above F4. So C3 above, as you can see here, sorry, you just clicking on the shuttering works. So it will be C3, this one. We had done C3 above F1, above F2, and this one will be above F4. One number of C3 is there, and this one will be your F4. So F4 is your 56. So C3 above F4, we have done this for this one, and C3 above F2 we had already done. So now we'll go to C4. So now let's check C4 is in which footings. So C4, as you can see in F1 we don't have any C4, already covered F1. So C4 is in the F3, and the C4 is only in the F3 actually. So C4 above F3, and one C4, and just we need to simply change this to the place of F3. So F3 is 55. Click on enter. So this will be, this is C3 above, C4 above F3. Now C5, let's check the C5s. So C5 is one C5 we have in F4, another C5, do we have another C5? Two C5 we have in this F4, and there is, I think there is no other C5. So C5 above F4 should be a nice to go. C5 above F4, this is 2, this is not required, and here C5 above F4, F4 is your 56. Just put the dollar symbols and 56. Okay, C5 above F4 is done. Now Here also above F3 you can just put the dollar symbols. Now see, up to C5 we have done. Let's check our C6. C6 earlier we didn't find any. Here also no. So here is one C6 above F6 and there is C6 above F5. So there will be two rows, C6 above F5 and C6 above F6. So first let's do F5. So here C6 above F5 is two numbers, and out of these two numbers the particular this we need to adjust C6 over F5. So F5 is 57, write 57 and put the dollars. And now C6 above F5 is sorted. So now let's do something else. C6 above F6. There is only one. F6 is 58. Now C7 above F6. So C7 above F6 calls for, so C7 is above F4 and above F6. 1 above F4, 2 above F6. Sorry, F5. So let's do C7 above F4. F4. Number of C7 above F4, it's only 1. And do this F4. F4 is 56. Put the dollar signs. And this is C7 above F4 is done. I think we are done with F4 and F7. Then two number of C7 over F5. F5 is okay. Just put the dollar. Just in case we any change any rows and columns, it doesn't affect it. Let's check whether this is the right one. Yeah, it is the right one. So here we have done everything. Now we'll just cross check on the number of columns here. Let's check the number of columns. Here we'll just check it. So it's 20. So we'll check in the drawing as well whether it is 20 or not. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. So we are okay. Like this you can do check in every stage of your estimation. So next we are up with the plinth beam. That is up to the concrete works up to the substructure. There is a plinth beam we need to calculate. So let's see the number of beams which we are having here. So we are having, I think, B1, B2, B3, B4. So 4 number of beams we are having. So that's what we are written here. B1, B2, B3, B4. And the lengths which we are having, length, breadths and lengths. So it's 250 into 350, all except B3. So B3 is 0.25 into 0.5 and the remaining others is 0.25 into 0.35. So that's what you are seeing here, all this. And the plinth beam, this length we need to calculate for the plinth beams which we are having. So here, from here also you can calculate the lengths here by adding them actually. So here you can pretty much calculate here. So that is B1. So let's start with B1 here. So B1 is actually the entire span is here is B1. So pretty much you will get the quantity of B1 if you just deduct this middle ones. this column, let's approximately take 0.25 for this, and we can get the number of B1 here. So if this is this end is, let's say, from this end to this end, if it is 14.0 to 1, so B1 will be, okay, 14.0 to 1 minus 0.25 cross. So for accurate ones you can calculate one by one. I'm just taking this minus 1 to 0.25 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0.25 into 5. So that's what I am calculating. So you can note that some are 0.25, some are even larger. This is this, if you can just calculate, it has larger one. It is 450. So I've taken 2.25. So I'm a bit on the conservative side, but if you want the accurate ones, you can just measure from here to here, here to here, like this you can do, and you can do that, or you can just calculate the full length and deduct the columns. But we are arriving at something here. So this is B1, and after that this B2. Now for this B2, let's achieve, okay, we are not done with the B1. I think if there is anything remaining, what will be B1? There is no B1 here, there is no B1 here, so I think we don't have any more B1 here, only B2, B2, B3, B4. So we are done with this. B2 also, there I think there will be same length, the entire thing is B2, and here just let's write equals to 12.771 plus, if we need to add anything more, if there is, which is B2. So here, as you can see, it is 4.623. so this is also B2. Whether we have any B2 here? No, we don't have any B2 here. So it will be 4.623 into, okay, this pretty much, this full length is B2. So let's do 4.623 into 2 plus 4.623 into 2 plus, so plus this particular length which we had calculated earlier, which we can write, that is 12.771, or simply do this 12.771 into 2. That should be good. Let us check once again. This is entire B2, this entire thing is B2, and this one we have calculated. Okay, so we are good here. And then we have B3. For the B3, let's calculate. I think it will be lesser value for the B3. B3, yeah, this one, this 2. So the size is 2.134 into 2. First to go. (2.134) into 2 plus, next to the B3, appearance of B3, they think that it is this one actually, or else, okay, this entire thing is B3. Okay. So I think we can do here, what we can do is we can take a dimension from here, just for approximation, from here to here. This is 14.28. So we can just write here equals to 14.28, or 14.28 minus, how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 14.28 minus 5 into 0.25, that will be minimum one, 13.03. So it will be B2 can be 13.03, or 13 into 2. So I think that is the correct one. 13 into 2. This all these are B3. Okay, then this is the correct one. And then B4 should be in very small quantity here. B4 is let's check, this is B3, B2, so only these two are B4. So it is 1.575 into 1, 2, and equals to 1.575 into 2 plus this 1.575 1.88. 1.88. This is all we got in V2, and we are doing the sum of it and multiplying it by 1.05 to add the 5%. So like this we can complete this sheet. We'll come forward with the next video. So we'll calculate the in the ultimate video, our aim is to calculate the quantity of the materials which will be required, and we'll provide it as per our different levels, like for the substructure how much, for the ground floor how much, first floor how much. We'll just do that, just present a list and prepare that. So stay tuned to our channel. That's all for today. Keep learning. Bye bye.